All righty, how about that? Can you all hear us? We are live at Polar Park, where it's a snow-covered field and a cloud-covered sky, and wind is blowing snow all over the place, and we couldn't be happier to be here with you today. Yes, we are live at Polar Park. We made it in. Some of us never left, but don't worry. Fresh shirt, change of clothes, great showers in the clubhouse, and we are happy to be with you today. We didn't want to miss the opportunity to be with you here at Polar Park, and to tell you things that are cool and new this coming year. You may have watched last night's town hall. You got a pretty good summary, but we wanted to go into a little bit more detail on some of them, and also make sure we have time to address your questions. So I'm joined by Dan Ray, our Executive Vice President, General Manager, Tim Quidadamo. Looks like you're on there. Steve Oliveira. Tim is, of course, the one overseeing the production of this for you, together with Dylan McCaffrey. We call him DCAF for short. We call Tim Quidadamo TQ for short. Not very original, it just works. Steve Oliveira, who is head of our marketing. Sam Nippet-Nanaporn is on, and Brooke Cooper, who's not only head of our marketing as well, but our assistant general manager. So how about that? Senior vice president of the club. So we're all here, and we wanted to tell you what's new and cool. Dan Ray and I were putting a list together. Larry Lupino said, let's make it a list of 22. Well, we got to do about 36. And Dan said, well, not everything has to make the list. So Dan and I will try to lead you through it with ample input from others. We kind of clarified it into 10 categories. So the first one is creating cool new places. Mayor Petty talked on the town hall about Picket Plaza. Now that's an important thing. When you are parking anywhere near City Hall or the Worcester Common or the by the Mercantile Building, and then you're walking, it's a short walk, and you walk across McGrath, you'll now be welcomed by this beautiful green park, this Picket Plaza, and we expect to animate that. Maybe Smiley Ball or Worcester will be greeting you there. Maybe we'll have art festivals there. Maybe there'll just be someone from the WooSox there to make sure you know where you're going. Do you know what gate might be your most comfortable one? So Picket Plaza is a cool innovation. We think it will be ready from the city by the end of March. So let's look for an early April announcement about that one. We also talked about the Shearwood Diner, and that one is going to be another cool new place. You saw its arrival last year. Janet Marie Smith did an heroic job of overseeing getting that found, unwrapped, restored. It will be the home of the WooSox Foundation, because the Fuller Foundation very graciously and generously funded the restoration of this diner. And it'll have some food. It'll certainly have table talk pies, but it's more of a gathering place, and it's a place to showcase what the WooSox Foundation does and who all of the WooSox Foundation partners are, and they are many. But we can also imagine pre-game shows on the radio coming from there. We can also imagine baseball players, some of your favorite Red Sox stars, being there, and it's a place to go and meet some of these folks who you've loved for a long time, but maybe haven't gotten to sit and chat with. What's the history of the diner? The Shearwood Diner, I won't try to take Bill Wallace's place from the Worcester Historical Museum, but it was a real diner here, I think going back to the 1940s. And we'll have a docent. It's a small world. There was an usher at the WooSox who, it turns out, was an expert on diners, and he wound up being a conduit for us to help us find the folks we needed to find. And he said, look, he can come to the games and tell you the history of diners, so we can do that as well. What we're also thinking about is moving the duck boat around to Plymouth Street, make that a cool group area for like up to 10 kids or 10 people, be a great birthday party spot. So that would also liberate some space. There's the diner. That's Janet Marie driving. Excuse me, that's the duck boat. That's Janet Marie driving the duck boat. Of course, that's historic. That is Beantown Betty. Beantown Betty was one of our duck boats in many of our championships. The 2004 parade, the 2007, and the 2013 before it retired, and the other sports too. Don't mean to give them short shrift, but we're baseball people. So
Charles, we should also add, I think, this duck boat and the diner and the Picket Plaza really transforms the outfield part of the ballpark for us. When we opened Polar Park last year, we did so sort of opening it, I would say, at 70 or 80% completion. The home plate area was really complete. The first baseline, the third baseline, but sort of foul pole to foul pole in the outfield, we were working with, I would describe it as an incomplete product through much of the season. So you saw as the season went along, the opening of Plymouth Street, the opening of Summit Street, but it was still sort of a work in progress. And I think what's going to be so cool about this year, among many other things, is the fact that that whole area is going to be, I think, much more complete, much more active, much more vibrant. So you have that Picket Plaza out in deep center field that will welcome people into the ballpark, I think, in a much more holistic fashion, sort of behind the batter's eye. I don't know how well you can see it through the snow here and the flurries, but behind that batter's eye, that Picket Plaza area will be completely verdant and welcoming to people. You'll have the diner out in sort of the right center field portion of the ballpark, which will welcome people and create a really active area for us. And then, as Charles mentioned, that duck boat will move around all over the ballpark, but particularly in the left field and right field quarters. So that, I think, is going to be a really special feature of the ballpark this season that we were able to sort of softly unveil last year. Doing our construction during the pandemic, we had to make certain decisions about what needed to be open. You needed the ballpark itself, you needed the field, you needed the player areas. There were other parts that unfortunately we had to sort of segment in across the season. So this year will be, I think, the full debut of the ballpark. And those are three really big highlights that I think make the whole picture come complete here.
By the way, we're also joined by Anthony Cahill. Anthony oversees our sales. That's your season ticket sales, your group sales, and all of sales. And it's Anthony who's overseeing the introduction of the 9-game plan. Single game tickets went on sale at 9 this morning for April and May, including opening day and opening week. Anthony, what should we know about group areas and 9-game plans?
Yeah, the 9-game plans are new for us. So last year, we went on sale with full season tickets and half season tickets, and that's where we capped it. So now we're on sale with 9-game plans. They started at $189 per seat, as you can see here, but you get the same seat to all 9 games throughout the season, and you get every one of our promotions included too. So no matter which plan you get, you experience a fireworks night. You get to play catch on the field after a Saturday game. Our new Give a Wednesdays, you'll experience those as well. So those are on sale now. We have a couple different versions of it, depending on which games work best for you. But yeah, you can see these here, these Give a Wednesdays. So these are all included as well. And yeah, those are on sale now. And our group areas too, we'll get into what the new group areas, but those are on sale as well. So little leagues, school field trips, PTOs, churches, all those types of groups, we're welcoming any group of 15 or more to the ballpark for any game. We're on sale with single game tickets now for April and May, but group tickets are available for any game throughout the season.
And that $189, that's for all 9 games.
That's not $21 per game.
Gotcha.
And we do have some in the home plate field box too. Those are $234 a plan, $26 a seat. So those are discounted off of, the single game price.
And people can go to WooSox.com or they can call 508-500-8888.
Correct. Either one works.
They'll get you if they call?
They'll get me or one of my friends here.
All right. Very good. One of the areas that completes the new spaces is relevant to Anthony and to ticket sales. And that's using the area under the left field video board so that when you buy a standing room ticket, That's $8 or $9, depending on what category you are. You have a place to go. Same thing with Craft Corner. Everybody seemed to love Craft Corner. They came in and they filled that up right away. But because you can now buy tickets for the berm, because you can now buy tickets for a specific reserved seat on the along the drink rail, and because you can now buy one of those tables for 4 with the high tops with stools, we wanted to make sure you still know, hey, I just want to go to the ball game. I want to buy a ticket for $9. Where will I be able to go? Well, it seems to be that, number one, as Dan said, completing Summit Street and kind of extending it around to Plymouth Street is going to make just the whole outfield lively and very welcoming. But the 8th hill, the area beyond the left field video board, is tilted, is scaled, and you can feel a connection to the game out there. So those are our new places. We talked last night about a very cool new group area that Anthony gets to provide you with, and it's called the Power Alley. We're going to see if we can name it for David Ortiz and then call it Poppy's Power Alley. But look at this. This is really cool. You are just 8 feet above the field, just like you are on the berm. And it has, yes, 34 seats. And you are behind the outfield fence, but in front of the outfield wall. And Anthony, how do I go about booking Poppy's, if it is Poppy's Power Alley?
Yeah, and that would be the same type of deal. Call 508-500-8888. And what's interesting about these is they're near the Worcester wall, and we're actually going to price them at $34 as well. So it's very easy to remember. 34 seats, $34, and it includes $14 of what we call loaded value. And you can use those on any of the areas that are out there on Summit Street. Wormtown Beer, BT Smokehouse is right around the corner. So you can use those dollars for food with your tickets as well.
So the ticket's really $20, plus I get $14 worth of food and beverage. And I can book it for my group of up to 34 people.
Yeah, exactly.
Woohoo. All right. Now, another area that we're converting to a group area because so many people wanted such a group area is the triple decker garden. That's that area on top of the right field wall, right down by the foul pole. How does that work?
That works very similar. Yeah, you can see the picture here. If anybody's ever been in the Hanover deck, I would compare this to our version of the Hanover deck on the other side of the field. So great views up there. Same price point as the Hanover deck. It's $41 per ticket. It includes a 2-hour buffet pregame, and that runs into the game as well. You get the space to yourself. We're looking at fitting 60 people up there. And yeah, that's kind of your group space. For some companies choose to do it, but other social clubs, again, little leagues have done it before. So any group of around 60 that you're looking to feed, entertain, and have your own private space for the ball game, this is a good option.
All righty. We'll have a new boardroom off of the DCU club for private events. I don't know if we have renderings of that to show yet. We hope that'll be ready for opening day. And we're going to revamp the DCU club a bit too. So you do. Look at that. There's a boardroom. I'm not sure that's the actual table. I think the table is going to be wider with room for, say, 2 people at the end of it. But you get the idea. So you want a private dinner for your board or your company before a ball game, or when there's no ball game. That's also something cool and new. I think the biggest thing that we are doing is addressing the fans from sections 1 through 4 who had an obscured view, depending on what row you were in, of the left field video board. And we talked about at the town hall, I just thought we were going to put monitors up so that you could see a little bit better. And we went big. Larry Lucchino and John Marie Smith went big. So let's check out this new right field video board, head to toe, top to bottom, and it will it will not be the exact same display as the left field board. No need to do that, but it will be a complementary board to make sure that anything that any baseball information you were seeing on that left field board is mimicked on the right field board. But that's a big board, and it's a big deal. And I think that was a pretty dramatic response to listening to the fans. I think so. Dan Ray, from a baseball standpoint, it's kind of similar. You have the inning by inning score on the bottom half. You run this by the Boston Red Sox. They know the drill.
Yeah, we've told the powers that be, Major League Baseball, they are aware of it. So we don't think it'll have too many impacts on games. We think the ball will bounce off of this scoreboard now, the upper part of it, which is a new fixture. It'll bounce, I think, pretty similar to how balls have bounced previously off that part of the wall. So we don't think it'll have much in the way of baseball side impacts. And by the way, Charles, speaking of baseball, I know we're talking about what's new in 22. We would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge Chad Tracy and Jose Flores and our entire coaching staff, who were awesome. And I feel kind of, tough act to follow for us here, but we should thank them for being on here and getting up early, logging on from the Caribbean and California, in the case of Jose and Paul and Mike and Getty, obviously, and Chad. What energy those guys have. And I think you can see their excitement and feel their excitement through the screen. So that was really, really cool this morning. And thanks to Josh Maurer as well, who has a college basketball game to call, I think, in a little bit here still. So Josh is pulling double duty here, but it was a really cool way to start the morning with all those guys.
Now, amen to that. And to Ben DeCastro, our PA announcer, leading us in that trivia. I got on and played just as a fan. I thought I was doing all right. And then I wound up third, I got fooled on a couple questions. But the folks who did finish ahead, let's do something special for you. We're happy to do that. Shoot, we're happy to do something special for everybody who played. Dan always teases me, everybody wins a trophy. I get it, but we can scale the trophy. So, Brooke, let's get into what's cool and new for fans every day of the week, because we have a lot that is fresh in WooSox 22, and you and Steve Oliveira have been burning the midnight oil getting these ready. So take us through Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and right on through Sundays.
Yeah, so first on Tuesdays, we will be introducing Take Two Tuesdays, when there will be a special item that when you purchase it, you get to take two. So for instance, part of the lineup, we have Table Talk pies, we have Hebrew National hot dogs, French fries, pretzels, all-American cheeseburgers. I mean, these are good things that we're talking about, that when our fans purchase one on these dates, that they get to take a second one. And then moving on to our giveaway.
I'm going to interrupt. Sorry, I'm going to interrupt real quickly because I actually started out a little early and I got one of my hot dogs now.
Oh my God.
And then it came with a second one. So how about that? Take two delivered in the snow. So there you go. Looking forward to that.
Out in the hinterlands of Western Mass.
I believe it. All the way out here.
Rick Medeiros must have driven the Blue Woo shuttle in the snow to get to you.
That's right.
You are
That's
a star, Steve. Thank you for that. Moving on to Wednesdays, we have our Give a Wednesdays. Bobbleheads, we didn't do any bobblehead giveaways last year. And this year we have 7 bobbleheads that we'll be giving away every Wednesday night game. I think that we have some images to show. I know that earlier when we had Rich Gedman on, he was able to see his bobblehead. Here we go. We have Smiley Ball still in the works. We have Rich Gedman, Tate Matheny, and that phenomenal catch that he made in July. Tristan Casas here, and then a few others, mystery bobbleheads at this point, and we'll be eager to introduce those as the season begins. Steve's been working really hard on these. Steve, anything to add?
Yeah, and worth mentioning that for a number of them, including the Tate Matheny and Tristan Casas ones you see here, are some audio clips that are included. So those baubles each will have a button you press and you'll hear a great audio file from a great moment in WooSox 21. So for Tate Matheny, as you can see with him making that great catch, it's maybe the play of the season, an amazing catch that he made on a packed house here at Polar Park. So we have that clip of that, and here you go, great photo of that actual moment there in front of a sold out crowd at Polar Park.
And actually, Steve, I think that we have the audio. Yeah, I think we have the audio.
TQ, what do you think? Wait, you got to keep the speaker facing the mic.
It's a little low, but you get the idea that, you know, it will sound much clearer and louder when you have it in your hands after picking it up that day. So yeah, the Tate Matheny catch. And then the Tristan Casas you saw there, who hit a home run in his second AAA at bat. So we have a great call of that as well. So again, something very exciting with each of the bobbleheads.
So every Wednesday night game, we have a bobblehead. If
Absolutely.
It's a Wednesday night, we have 5 Wednesday day games, 7 Wednesday night games. Every Wednesday night, no, there will be no bobblehead of me. Thank you. Nice thought. Thank you. But no, every Wednesday night game, you get a bobblehead. And yeah.
And Charles, if I can just add, we do listen to the fans. So if enough fans say they want a Dr. Charles bobblehead, then we will be obligated to comply.
If I hear it from enough fans, send a handwritten note, mail it to. No.
If we get 10,000 postcards.
Right. If we get the 10,000 postcards.
Our chat is blowing up right now. Sorry. Okay.
We've got other days of the week that have fun.
All right. So Thursdays are our Woo U college nights. Woo U is our new student loyalty program. And as you know, I'm sure many of you know, Worcester is surrounded by many colleges and universities. And so we're really trying to, I think, connect with our student fans and hype up these Woo U nights. Steve, anything else on Woo U?
Yeah, no. So, you know, for those who are part of the Booster Club or the Woo Crew Kids Club, you know, the idea here is to create a similar sort of loyalty program. There'll be an app dedicated to Woo U. So you'll have the opportunity to, and this is for students. I know we use the Woo U branding, which is cute and maybe makes you think of college, but this is for students, you know, not just college, high school, beyond.
High school or college?
Sorry, what was that?
High school or college?
That's correct. Yes, high school or college. And so you sign up for the program, you download the app. It gives you the ability to collect points for engaging with the team in different ways, coming to games, you know, watching on television, listening on the radio. You use those points to redeem them for special experiences and prizes and offers. So it really is a good opportunity for college and high school students to, you know, to get rewarded for being fans.
So a loyalty program.
That's right.
Cool. And so colleges will be the centerpiece of Thursday nights, right?
Correct. And the idea with that is, you know, we want to make those dates really appeal to those in all of the great local colleges with, you know, some pregame and postgame entertainment, some special offers that they'll get. And even things like, you know, we know it's of a lot of interest to those perhaps close to graduating college, you know, to do some networking or to kind of learn from the experience of front office members in terms of, you know, how to sort of get into the business world or into sports in particular. So we really hope to utilize Thursday nights to reach out to that college audience and hopefully keep them really engaged.
And Friday nights were our most popular nights last year, and with understandable reason. So Steve and Brooke, bring it on.
Yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Everyone loves Friday night fireworks presented by Unibank. So every Friday night this season, we will have fireworks. And in addition, we'll also have fireworks for the 4th of July, which is on a Monday. So, please join us on those fireworks nights. Each will have a special themed musical medley. A couple of those, being the country classics, music of the Beatles, and other, British hits. I'm trying to think, Motown and more.
That was a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I'll just chime in. Obviously, I'm biased here, but it really is. The fireworks are just absolutely wonderful. Like the quality of the show is unbelievable. And I saw Dave Libby here said Friday nights were his picks for coming to games. I think even we ourselves weren't sure how they would be doing them in the middle of the city from the field, what the quality would look like, and we were so thrilled with how they looked and the reaction that we received. So it really is a first class fireworks show.
And this year the weeknight games are at 6:45, not 6:35. The reason for that was we were seeing that there was a bit of a bottleneck. People were getting here, say by 6:20, and there was a bit of a little bit of a bottleneck at the gates. And we knew that people were coming from work, or if they were coming from home, they might be coming through rush hour traffic. So we added 10 minutes there, just to make it a little bit easier for you to get in without, we believe, really changing too much what time you're going to get out at night. We know that, when you get out by 9:30 or quarter to 10, it feels like a victory, So 6:45. Tuesdays through Fridays. Yeah, we're still keeping the 405 on Saturday. That still seems like something that's good for Worcester. We wanted to pour 10,000 people out into the Canal District and Shrewsbury Street and the restaurants all over the town, so that Worcester could enjoy a happy, healthy, vibrant Saturday night. And look, if you want to stay for a little while, go ahead and play catch on the field. I think the sunset catch on the field is one of my favorite things. In fact, I just got an email 2 days ago from the actor who played Kevin Costner's father in Field of Dreams. His name is Dwyer Brown. And everybody, look, if you're on this call, you've all seen Field of Dreams. You all know that last scene. Hey, Dad, want to have a catch? And we're going to see, maybe we can get Dwyer Brown here one day, and he could play catch with you on the field. That could be a cool moment. So that's why we're keeping it 4:00 on Saturdays, and then Sundays 1:00. One of the things you know is that we're in Worcester, we're for Worcester, we love Worcester, but we're seeing that people are coming here from Connecticut, they're coming here from Maine, they're coming here from New Hampshire, they're coming here from Vermont, they're coming up from Rhode Island, more numbers than I thought we might get. And on a Sunday game, you're reassuring families that even if they run the bases after the game, they're going to get home at a perfectly good hour. So that influences your time of game, is where people are coming from. So that takes us through the days of the week. But there are also some special outreach programs that Brooke and Steve.
Charles, before we leave.
We kind of skipped over Sundays.
Oh, sorry. Go.
No, that's okay. So Sundays are our Fallon Health Family Fun Day Sundays. So it'll be an opportunity to see animal balloon artists and face painters, and really just, all the reasons to bring your family to the ballpark. In addition, a post-game Kids Run the Bases presented by HP Hood. And we say kids run the bases, but we don't keep anyone else from running the bases as well. And a couple of our really fun themes will take place on these Sundays. My favorite, if you are a Marvel fan, we are part of a minor league baseball program, Marvel's Defenders of the Diamond, where minor league baseball is partnered up with Marvel officially. And we actually, the WooSox players will be wearing one of these specialty jerseys on the field that game when they play the Durham Bulls on August 7th. And so what we encourage fans to do right now is to scan the QR code that you see here. scan the QR code and go vote for your favorite Marvel character and which jersey you would like to see WooSox players wearing, again, on the field at Polar Park on August 7th.
Wow. Do you know what all those are, Brooke?
Oh yeah, I am a huge Marvel fan.
Wow. Which one would you vote for?
You know, I've gone back and forth quite a bit. You know, I am Iron Man. I'm such a huge Iron Man fan. But, you know, Captain America, Black Panther, also So Clean, such classics. I think those would both look really great on the field. So, you know, Loki is hot right now, you know, with his show. So, I don't know, it's tough. You can't really go wrong. I will say I'm against Thanos.
You're against who? Which one? Oh, Thanos? No.
Thanos, yeah, he's a villain.
Dan Ray, are you a Marvel?
No, this is kind of Greek to me, Charles. I'm more of a classic
that sounds like Thanos.
spaghetti Western fan myself, so this is a little beyond my pay grade, but they look cool. They look very colorful, and not as colorful, but a question that popped up in the chat that I just wanted to address. Someone was asking about the parking garage. I think maybe David Libby had said a parking garage question. So yes, we will have the parking garage ready to go this season. Again, sorry that it's not as interesting and fun as Marvel Comics, but it is a very functional question. We get a lot from people. So that garage will open this season. It's taken us a little bit longer to finish the garage than we anticipated, but we're planning to have it ready to go. Final touches are being put on the garage as we speak, some landscaping elements. As soon as the snow is gone, we'll go in and we'll be able to have a parking garage, about 350 total spaces, and we'll have more information about reservations, things like that in the coming future. One other question I just saw off Twitter from someone was about the bobblehead giveaways, asking how many do we give out per night. And this is an important point too, because a lot of people think about bobbleheads and they think, you know, within certain places you get 500 or 1,000 is the giveaway number, and you've got to be right at the front of the line. We're actually doing 5,000 every night for the bobblehead giveaways. So that's, I think, really an important point to note. You don't have to be there and pull up a lawn chair at 3 p.m. to get a bobblehead. You can get a bobblehead by being there in reasonable time. So 5,000 Rich Gedman's, Tate Matheny's, Tristan Casas's, and Smiley balls will be available each night. So pretty cool when you think about that.
One of those things, I know that Rick Medeiros has always given this emphasis, is it's one bobblehead per person. So it's not like if you go buy 10 tickets because you want to buy 10 bobbleheads because you want to put 9 on eBay that we give you 10. We'll make sure we take care of the people who are actually coming to the ballpark. So it's one bobblehead per person on those nights. And yeah, I think I'm happy that we're doing 5,000. That's great. Wait, can we go back to the Marvel thing? Steve Oliveira, are you like Brooke in this? Do you know your Marvel characters?
I do. I'm a fan. I actually just scanned the QR code when it was up and putting in my vote now. I'm partial to the Captain America one myself. I do think it looks sharp. So I think that's getting my vote.
Wow. All right. I'm really eager to hear from fans on the chat of you know what they think, what they like. But it is very cool that this is going to be throughout baseball, Brooke.
Throughout minor league baseball, I believe there are 90. Yeah, there are 96 participating teams. And I did see a question here. You know, someone asked about a Spider-Man jersey. Unfortunately, that was not an option. We didn't, you know, it's not that we decided to take Spider-Man off of here. It just wasn't an option that was provided.
From Marvel?
Correct.
Gotcha. Wow. Always something cool and new. You got to admit, that's cool and new. So, all righty. Brooke, you and Steve have also created some days that are going to reach parts of our population that we think needed a little bit of an extra outreach, a little bit extra embrace to let them know how welcome they are, and it crosses a lot of different demographic groups. How about telling them what we've got in store?
Yeah, we have quite a few, I would say, that fall into that category. One of them being our Deaf and Hard of Hearing Awareness Night. And let's see, that is going to take place on April 29th. So the jerseys that you see on the screen here, it spells out WooSox in American Sign Language, again, to raise awareness. And we've been working with some members of the deaf and hard of hearing community. We do have ASL and deaf interpreters on that night who are shown prominently up on our video board. And in addition, every night of the season, every game of the season, we do have a program that we use at the ballpark called Captioncast that anyone can use when they log onto their phone, and it interprets the spoken word on the PA into text for anyone who, again, who might be deaf or hard of hearing. For the PA, again, it translates it into text on your phone. So that's one. Another one that, you know, I definitely want to make a plug for is our Women in Sports celebration, which will be on July 23rd. That's presented by Unibank. And Charles, maybe you can speak a little bit about A League of Their Own and our friends, you know, from the All-American Professional Girls Baseball League.
Well, yeah. I mean, just that all the way May just celebrated her 95th birthday, Madonna's character. And the story I've told, and if you've heard it before, forgive me, but when I first met her, I was at the Los Angeles Dodgers. She was a young girl. She was in her 80s. And I, you know, found out that she was the essential inspiration for Madonna's character, and she helped with the movie. I said, well, Madonna must have taken some liberties with your character, May. Oh, no, she didn't, honey. Let me tell you, I was one hot ticket. So we had her in Pawtucket. She went into the broadcast booth with Josh Mauer and Dave Fleming, and you are cute. She was more Madonna than we might have known. So she just turned 95, and bless her heart, she follows what we do. She follows us on Facebook, Maybelle Blair, if you want to go on and check out. And she's actually doing great work with a local attorney here in our area, Donna Cohen, on establishing a physical museum in Rockford, the home of the Rockford Peaches. You know, at that level, there's a lot going on. But right now, history is happening in January. Dan Ray, I don't know if you know too much about the ones in our organization. We know that the New York Yankees just named a woman to be the manager of one of their minor league clubs. And the Red Sox are going to have two women in uniform who are going to be coaches in our organization. And it's just a matter of time before a woman does play for us. I've always believed that. I believe it's happening more and more. But it's interesting. It's the manager and the coaches that have come first.
Yeah, and I think you'll see, you know, WooSox female coaches in the very near future. You'll see Red Sox managers and coaches. Major League Baseball, it's, as you said, Charles, as inevitable as tomorrow's sunrise. And it's great to see people who have a passion for the game, a knowledge of the game, people who have earned it on their merits and their quality work. It's really, really cool to see.
And that's exactly what we'll be celebrating, again, July 23rd for our Women in Sports. So we're excited about that. And then back to your original question, Charles, and Steve, again, I'll let you speak more on this, but we've had some conversations recently about exploring more peanut allergy friendly nights to providing, you know, individuals who do suffer from allergies and families so that they can come visit Polar Park and do so in a safe way, that, you know, they don't have to be, you know, so anxious when they visit the ballpark.
And we just met with some serious scientists, physicians, PhDs, educating us about what would be helpful regarding those with peanut allergy sensitivities. And we're learning a lot. So there might be a couple days that are peanut allergy friendly days, but also it may be that if you just didn't have peanuts on the berm, that might be enough for a family to feel the reassurance that they could be on the berm. You don't have to have peanuts on the berm. We'll have peanuts in the ballpark, but you don't have to have them on the berm. So that's what we're working on. And how about what our award-winning program in outreach last year, Brooke and Steve? Wepa.
Yeah, absolutely. So we were so fortunate to be awarded with Minor League Baseball's Fun Cup for our efforts with becoming Los Wepas de Worcester. And I think it's really important to acknowledge community leaders who make up our WAPA advisory committee and really help to guide all of our special ceremonies on those games. We're excited that the team will become Los Wepas de Worcester on 8 games this season compared to 7 games last year. And we might even have one of our bobbleheads might even have might be WAPA themed, might have a WAPA jersey. So all very exciting things. We are even exploring a new mascot. We know that, Charles, you love mascots, and having a special WAPA mascot as well.
Well, we know that our WAPA artwork features the rocket for the celebration of fireworks and the nod to Robert Goddard, who launched the first liquid fuel rocket that he designed here in Worcester. Launched it right down the street in Auburn. We all know that artwork. Maybe that turns into Roberto the Rocket. We will see. And if you do that play on words, you can also celebrate one of the greatest heroes of the Latino community in baseball, Roberto Clemente. Put a 21 on him. So who knows what's in store in our art cauldron. How about that? But we will. How many WAPAS nights will we have, Brooke and Steve?
We'll have 8.
8. Good. All righty. Good. How about that? That's not a bad list. Again, the tickets for April and May are on sale now, and 9 game plans throughout the year, half season plans, and still some full season plans. We're also going to have some other features that are new that address those with special needs. For instance, when we add 2 water fountains, which Larry Lucchino talked about at the town hall, we're taking it from 1 to 3. Not only can you fill your bottle to replenish your water, but they will be at a handicap accessible level. That was important. Something as seemingly simple and obvious takes some thought and some study and some work, and that's an accessible electronic door opener at gate D. So from a wheelchair, you'll be able to hit that and have the door open for you. It'll also be at the loading dock, but that's not where too many of you are coming in for the ball games. We talked about this at the town hall. I think this could be just really touching, and that is introducing wait service if you're in accessible seating areas. This came from a fan. I think he had written to Rick Medeiros, as many do, Rick M at WooSox.com. Rick M, because he's afraid you don't know how to spell Medeiros. Rick M at WooSox.com. And I mean, he brings it all to us and advocates. And someone had said, look, I come with someone who's in a wheelchair. I need to leave them, go to the stands, get my order and their order, bring it back. And we're not even sure that it's that easy for some folks to manage the food. So wait service would be seemingly obvious, I think very cool. And Rick is actually working on ordering some trays to check out that someone in a wheelchair could have, and you set the food down on a tray. So we're going to see what those are like. If you're sitting in the good Bob Uecker seats, not the outfield seats, but if you're really down in the front row, if you know that reference, some of the folks wanted to be elevated a little bit to see over the dugouts. Fine, we'll give you a seat cushion. Enjoy. We're adding defibrillators at 5 locations in the ballpark. And for those who bring their service dogs, there will be a designated relief area so that your dog will know where to go. How about that? D. Ray, what else should people know?
Have we talked, Charles, about our African American History and Negro League program this season?
No. Why don't you jump on that?
So minor league baseball this year is holding a sort of season-long celebration of African American history, and they've chosen certain teams across the industry to be sort of flagship franchises to honor this celebration. So we're going to have a great event on Monday, both during the day and Monday night, celebrating Jackie Robinson's birthday. We've done that now going back years. Charles, when was the first year you guys held a Jackie Robinson?
I did the first year we could in Boston. When we took over the Red Sox in 2002, we introduced the first one on January 31st, 2003. So this will actually be the 20th year in a row that we've been doing it.
So, I mean, a great program, and one that has rightfully been recognized by people across the baseball industry as sort of a unique program that I don't think anyone has done as well as Charles and Larry and others have done over the years. So we're going to have a really a cool program this Monday, activities during the day with Worcester Public School students on a Zoom call, and then a 6 p.m. With various Red Sox alumni, Mo Vaughn and Oil Can Boyd, Sam Horn, and we'll also be joined by Bob Kendrick, who's president of the Negro League Museum. So a really special celebration of history. And then that will go into Black History Month in February, where we'll unveil more details about this program this year. But our game's history with the Negro Leagues and with African-American figures is an immense one. And so I think this will be a chance for us to celebrate that all season long. Brooke has taken a lead on it. And Brooke, I don't know if I'm forgetting anything key, but I think this coming month, we'll see a lot of cool details about what this program will entail this summer.
No, you've got it. I think, like you said, more will be unveiled come February.
And over the 20 years, we've had so many inspiring guests, including Jackie Robinson's daughter, Sharon Robinson, Jackie Robinson's son, David Robinson, who is a coffee grower in Tanzania. And we had him, the wonderful late Buck O'Neill, who thank goodness is going in the Hall of Fame this year. And we heard their stories. And let's keep in mind, too, we're going to do this in the elementary schools on Monday as well in Worcester. And students have already submitted some of the questions. And one asked, well, did he have a wife? And it's extraordinary to think Jackie would have been 102. I think this will be his 103rd birthday. And his widow, Rachel Robinson, thank God, is still with us. She's about 98, I think, now. Just the most elegant, dignified, regal woman. And in my office, I have just a picture that I treasure of Rachel Robinson with Hank Aaron's now widow, Billy Aaron, and Frank Robinson's now widow, Barbara Robinson. You think of what those women have seen and endured. They are three icons of American history through the lens of baseball. So we've learned an awful lot from, I didn't know Jackie Robinson personally, but knew Frank Robinson very well, as did Larry. And Hank Aaron, we knew very well. And Buck O'Neill was just full of stories. It's good to pass these stories along to the future generations so that they understand the context in which they're living. All right, let's see what else we have. Well, that probably ties into what's cool and new in the community, right? So last night we announced on the second anniversary of our WooSox Foundation something very cool. And Brooke, I may ask you to elaborate on it too, but you're going to see a massive recreational vehicle, a camper, presented by Bank of America that we're calling the WooSox Foundation Caravan. Check it out. That's the front, and that's the back. And check this out. Look at that. And this will be able to go on the road, go throughout Worcester, go to area town, and be the physical symbol of the social justice platform of the WooSox Foundation. And whatever we can do to establish a level playing field, whatever we can do to make sure that everyone has access to goods and services in our community, access to baseball. That's, you know, baseball 120 years ago was such a wonderful mechanism of Americanization to the Italian immigrants, to the Irish immigrants, to the Jewish immigrants. And, you know, as we still welcome immigrants in Worcester, Albanian immigrants and Afghan immigrants from Afghanistan, and certainly from the Dominican and from Puerto Rico, from Guatemala, from Honduras, we know that Worcester is a really shining example of multicultural harmony and embrace. And this WooSox Foundation Caravan can go to people so that we're not saying, hey, come here and we'll tell you what it's like. Let's go to the people. Brooke, Dan, did you want to expand?
Yeah, I mean, I think the community outreach is really key, and then also making people when they come to the ballpark feel welcome and have tastes and sounds and things that represent their culture. And so the Weight Boss program is one great example of that. But we're also going to be unveiling, I don't think we've touched on it this morning yet. We talked a little bit about it last night, but our Taste of Worcester, presented by Massa Staffing concession stand area. So that will unveil itself this season, and that will have representation of various restaurants from around Worcester. You know, Accra, which is a great Ghanaian place in the Worcester public market. They're going to have a presence there, as will many others. And so that'll be, I think, a really neat feature. If you see here, you've got the diner right in front of us, the duck boat, but then a little further down on the left-hand side, the Taste of Worcester stand will be there. So if you are looking for your hot dogs and your peanuts and Cracker Jacks, those will all be there in the ballpark. But this Taste of Worcester, I think, will introduce some really unique culinary staples that the Worcester community, frankly, has become known for. I think Worcester has become sort of a culinary hub and a culinary destination. And getting to work with some of these local, really talented restaurateurs, I think will add something to this ballpark. And again, this whole corridor, this right field, Summit Street corridor, I think is going to be such a feature that we had a little bit last year towards the end of the season, but this year we'll have it from day one. And that'll add something really special in the ballpark.
And Charles, I was just going to say, going back to the WooSox Foundation Caravan, I see that Alex Richardson has joined us. And Alex, I think Alex might be the only person who has driven the Caravan so far. So Alex, anything to add?
Yeah, no, myself and Dan Fontaine, the two of us have been the only ones to drive that vehicle. And I mean, Larry kind of touched upon it last night, right? Larry was talking about how, you know, it's a two-way street, right? Fans supporting us, we support fans, right? Neighborhood supporting us, we support neighborhoods. It's the same concept with this, right? You come to us, we're going to come to you now, right? And I think this RV, this van, it just means so much, right? I think just the small little necessities in life, this van, this RV can provide that, right? If you look at this van, I imagine, you know, partnering up with, you know, barbershops, providing haircuts to folks from the homeless community or any sort of neighborhoods, maybe once a month, maybe once every 2 months. Inside the van, we also have a shower, right? There's also inside there's a cooking station, right? Where you can provide meals and talk about healthy eating habits, right? I think for a lot of young folks, right, the obesity rate is so high, you know, kind of in America. How can we promote a healthier lifestyle, great eating habits? So this RV, this van, the Caravan, I mean, look at just the artwork there. I mean, it's beautiful. We're definitely going to stick out like a sore thumb driving it around, but that's the point. right? That really is the point of it. And you kind of touch upon, I mean, our 4 main pillars for the foundation, which is education, right? Talk about job training, resume building, going to different communities, providing that, right? So there's so many different ways that this van will be out in the community, and just so many different programs, initiatives, and also partnerships too, right? We want to work and collaborate with different organizations to provide services because we really want to help out with the needs of the community.
That's cool. I hope that it is as big a deal as it has the promise to be. And that's not all. That's not all we're doing in the community. We are going to have Worcester, the Wonder Dog, focus on the rescue dog community and rescue pet community. So Worcester's Wonder Dogs will be honored at the game. We are big fans and longtime supporters of Canine Companions. Those are just amazing dogs. I once watched a feature where a dog called 911 to save the master's life, and it's pretty amazing what dogs can do. We're also going to help our foundation with not a 5K but a Pie K with Table Talk Pies. We'll have a Pie K on April 30th, and yes, like the number, it is 3.14 miles. So like a 5K, but a Pie K. I don't think of these things. Brooke, Steve, I think that might be true. We're going to have, we're going to recognize Worcester's amateur baseball community with Diamond All-Stars, leaders of the little leagues and the amateur leagues. Alex, tell folks about our friends at Double Play Sports.
Yeah, about a year ago, we got a phone call of this amazing program, a really community-driven program that wanted to be called the Junior WooSox over at Double Play Sports. Right on the Worcester and Leicester border. I actually see some families who are actually participating today who are part of that program, so it's very familiar for a lot of folks. So we do have a sort of Junior WooSox program, a very serious, AAU. Baseball club, right? A really serious AAU organization. They just provided different scholarships for players, right, over at Double Play Sports, and they just had a couple guys go at the Division I level. So some serious ball players, but what I admire about what they do too is they're so academic driven, which is something that is near and dear to our heart. Being the first pillar, of our foundation. They're always checking grades for all the students and all that. So it really is an amazing program right here in our community. And another thing too is that I mentioned, they're community driven, right? We partnered up with them during our WooSox, our inaugural WooSox Foundation Caravan, where we were able to go to the Nazareth home right in Leicester for orphanage families and children. And they partnered up with us, and we were able to bring toys, and we were able to visit them, with Smiley Ball, with, our first baseman, Josh Akami, and some other members of our front office of the foundation team. And it was just an impactful day. So being able to partner up with some very serious AAU organization, the Junior WooSox, who are very serious about being involved in the community. I mean, it's amazing. So if anybody's, looking to get their children involved and just get them out playing baseball, just promoting the sport, and softball as well over there for their program, I think the Junior WooSox is an amazing organization.
All righty. More questions that I see coming in. Will we be selling food items in the seats? Yes, we'll have vendors in the seats, so that if we have the goods that keep you from having to get up and go to the concession stand, that's fine.
Charles, we also should mention the new items we will be adding in concessions this year. Last year, we heard from a ton of fans that they wanted fried dough and cotton candy, and we are happy to announce that both of those will be available this year at Polar Park.
Woohoo!
I'll throw in one other plug, not as delicious as Brooks or as altruistic as all those community initiatives, but functional cell phone chargers. We're going to have Supernova cell phone chargers all around the ballpark this season. That was something we heard from a lot of people last year. We love the devices. We're married to the devices, but they tend to lose their charge very quickly. So hearing that, we'll have at least 70 chargers around the ballpark. Our excellent head of ballpark operations, Robert Malone, just reminded me that that's a key functional upgrade that may not be as colorful or aesthetic as the Caravan or the food changes, but will, I think, definitely be something people appreciate.
And Robert has been all over it. He's been over all of these improvements that we're making, from something as massive and complicated as the video board to seemingly simple as adding 2 water fountains. But I can't believe that it's simple this time of year. Anyway, thank you, Robert. Also, a recycling program called Cans to Candles. We'll be able to take our empty cans and help convert them to candles, and we'll add more recycling machines. Also, on the baseball side, Dan Ray, which you stay close to, we're taking care of our ball players a little bit more too, are we not?
We are, yeah, Charles. There's a sort of a sweeping change in the baseball industry where teams, both the major league team and the minor league affiliates, are working to provide housing to players. So that's probably, I think, safe to say, a long overdue change. But you'll see players living around the district, around the area. You know, we didn't get to see as much interaction with players last season because of COVID restrictions, but we're definitely hoping with Alex and Joe and our group to get the players out more, see them around the community, see them living in the area around us. That's kind of cool how we'll be working with them to find good apartments, good places where they can stay. And I think, as you saw with Chad and the coaching staff, we have a group there, which is really excited to get this team out into the community this year.
Yeah. And not that it would ever be chilly in the dugout or in the bullpen, but we're gonna, how about the ball players, if just in case the weather isn't a balmy 72?
Which it may not be in April, so we will have heaters in the dugouts, heaters in the bullpens. I think pretty well received by the guys this season.
Yeah, and Dr. Charles, one thing too I wanted to touch upon and just echo, for Dan, Joe Bradley, myself, and even some of the production folks who were around the players this past season. I mean, the overall just feedback from them was amazing, right? They literally said this was their favorite baseball season in professional baseball for them, right? It's been amazing for them just to see the atmosphere at the ballpark. So truly, thank you to everybody here, all the fans, here in Worcester and all of Central Mass, because the players themselves, I mean, they just get motivated even more, honestly. So thank you to everyone.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Alex, as well. One thing that's cool and new, the Girl Scouts are going to have a sleepover on the field at Polar Park one night. That'll be our first Girl Scout sleepover. We had two? Yeah, we had 2 for the Boy Scouts last year. That's going to go from 2 to 5. But the Girl Scouts will have their first time, and it's as romantic as you think. You're on the outfield grass. It's after a game. Show you a movie. You sleep over under the stars. It won't be on a cold, blizzardy day in January. No, it'll be at a more predictable night, we hope, as far as the temperatures at least. But for the Girl Scouts, that would be cool. And we are fans of the Girl Scouts. So we were down in Uxbridge the other day and drove by a VFW parking lot, and there were Girl Scouts selling cookies. We pulled over, asked them what the record was for the number of boxes they had sold to any one person. They said 7, so Smiley Ball bought 8, and they were gone by Monday here. Our staff apparently has voracious appetites when it comes to Girl Scout cookies. So yes, Thin Mints, that was right. David Libby's all over this. Rick Medeiros took those Thin Mints. I think that Nat Reed wanted those Thin Mints. We may have to go find some Girl Scouts and replenish our supply. So Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts, they're a big part of the day. When I mentioned Uxbridge, we are going out to every town. Don't know how long it'll take. Everybody knows, I think, there are 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. There's 1,538 in New England. Well, why shouldn't we go? So Rick Medeiros drives the WooSox. What is that? The WooSox van. That and the Caravan. We're doing spontaneous voyages. We just go to a town. You tell us where to go. If the weather permits, I think we're going to go to Auburn tomorrow. That's Sunday, January 30th, depending on when you're watching this. And we just go and meet people. You tell us where to go. Everybody told us when we were going to Holden to go to the hardware store, and we went to the high school, and we're just going to meet people and go to the gathering spots. And we went to Val's restaurant in Holden. So we just pick a town. Smiley Ball goes, maybe Worcester goes if he doesn't have prior commitments. And this idea of just connecting with people, especially this time of year, has a lot of appeal to us. We like to keep the logs on the hot stove fire burning.
Charles, speaking of keeping the fire burning, I think we need to be keeping to our schedule here, and I think we have sessions to continue on to. So maybe Brooke or Steve can give us a sense of what's next, and we can wrap things up here.
Amen.
Yeah, sure. So I think at this time we would encourage our season ticket members and our Woo Crew members to join your exclusive sessions. The season ticket members do get a Q&A with Mo Vaughn, which should be really fun. And our Woo Crew members can enjoy a dance party with Smiley and Worcester. And then we invite everyone to join us back here on this main room at 110 for the Teammate Challenge, where we have current WooSox players participating in some really fun games like, the newlywed game, catchphrase, those sorts of things. We have some pre-recorded content, and I'll tell you that we really got a kick out of it. Some fun stuff. It's exciting, I think, to see the players as people and the fun that they can have off of the field as well. So we invite you to join us back here then. So until then, I think, thank you, Charles. I'll let you finish us off here.
Well, thank you. And I thank Joe Bradley, who does so much in our community work, Nathan Lucchino, who is overseeing our regionalization effort. I won't try to recite all the credits, but know that we have a really committed group of people here. Tim Quidadamo, Dylan McCaffrey are here today. Lexi is here today. Brendan Black is here today. Yeah, they made it through the snow. And there's a real love that people in this organization have for Polar Park, for the WooSox, for Worcester, and for all of you. You really are making it a very interactive and enjoyable experience. The fans on WooSox Nation's group on Facebook are hilarious, and Rick Medeiros is attentive to them about 22 out of 24 hours in a day. So keep the dialogue going. We want to keep hearing you, and let's see if we can still be responsive in WooSox 22 and beyond. See you a little later.